What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great hump day. It is Wednesday, and a day late here with Behind Enemy Lines, but with all to put this off a day. Wanted to get this out around lunchtime. It's probably going to be a little bit after. I am having one hell of a day. The health is not the greatest. I'm going to be real with you. So bear with me. Going to try to bring that energy as we go behind enemy lines with the Eagles' Week 7 opponent, the Miami Dolphins, their toughest opponent of the season so far. So, oh boy, we're going to get to know every single thing you need to know about the Dolphins, what they did this offseason, their division standings, their stats and rankings so far this year, their coaching staff, their practice squad, their roster, injuries, everything you need to know. Then, of course, later today, you'll get the initial injury report for both teams, see what's really going down there. So look out for that video later today. But appreciate you all taking the time here, hitting that like button, subscribing, commenting, whatever you're doing to support the channel. Cannot thank you enough. But let's go, baby. Behind enemy lines here with the Miami Dolphins. And we're going to start it off taking a look, just in case you haven't seen what's been going down in the NFL. We'll take a quick look at what the Dolphins did this offseason. You can see their draft picks here in the top left: Cam Smith, Devin Achane, oh my Lord, Elijah Higgins, and Ryan Hayes. Then you can see they added Ramsey, who just got his 21-day practice window open. Won't play this Sunday, but that's a good addition for him. Unfortunate to see him hurt, but they added David Long as well, Deshaun Elliott, Braxton Berrios, just added Chase Claypool in there, Isaiah Wynn, and you've got Mike White added. So added some good pieces, lost Gesicki, Roberts, Rowe, Jenkins. So nothing too serious there, but just in case you're wondering where some of these names came from or some of the names that you're not seeing, that is what went down for the Dolphins. Now, let's take a gander at how they're doing. Much better than last season. And this team, let's be real here, we just lost to the Jets. The Eagles need to figure things out with, the coordinators, with the injuries, a lot of things going down. And that is to be expected. Anybody who knows football knows that it's no surprise, off to some sloppy starts. These things need to be worked on, but nothing crazy. We're not pulling the Dan Sileo, fire Nick Sirianni, trade Hurts, it's over. That's a little too much. So this Sunday, we get to find out against the Miami Dolphins. Now, you see the Jets are 3-3. Dolphins a much, much better team here, and we've got ourselves quite a matchup here, and they're looking to stay atop their division at 5-1, and the Eagles are looking to do the same here. But let's take a look at how they've been able to have the tie there with us for the best record in the NFL with their stats rankings. And as I always say, take this all with a grain of salt. You have to understand the context, who they're playing, all those other things. But my Lord, I'll give you some context here. This is effing good. When you're first in points, total yardage, first in passing, first in rushing, not giving up sacks, you're first there, first in interceptions there, not throwing them. Okay, you're giving up some fumbles, so tied for 20th in total turnovers. That's, I guess, the only issue they really have on offense. They're extremely fast, extremely talented, and we're going to take a look at this roster here, but you can see they mean business. Now, this defense with their offense, scoring quickly, putting up so many points, these numbers are going to be skewed. We talk about that with the Eagles all the time. They're giving up 229.2 yards per game, but it's because teams have to F and pass all the time. But they're also not the greatest against the run because, look, they focused a lot on the offense. Let's just say that. But they've got talented playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. Not getting many turnovers, but they are fifth in the league in sacks with 3.5 per game. So they can get after the quarterback. The Eagles have struggled there. Hopeful that Lane Johnson will be playing this Sunday. We're going to need it because this team is not just a good offense. They do have a talented defense as well. And, well, let's take a gander at that. And if you're new to the show, what I do is I go through each position. By position, you will see who's on the active roster, practice squad, IR, and that's at each position. Then at the end, you get to see a full list of the practice squad and the depth chart, the reserves. So don't worry. This is just, it's a lot of information, but you will see it all as a whole at the end here. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as I roll through it then. But let's take a look here at this roster. And first up, we'll look at the coaching staff that has been able to have this team at 5-1. Number one in so many categories on offense, Mike McDaniel and Frank Smith whipping up some specials each Sunday here. And we got Vic Fangio on defense. And you know our defense comes from that tree, the multiple scheme. You know, bend, don't break, not giving up those big plays. So this is going to be an intriguing matchup here. And good offense, good defense, and special teams, Danny Crossman there. So this is a very talented team from head to toe. Let's take a look here. Starting off at quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa. I just totally jacked that. Tagovailoa. Wow. Mike White and then Skylar Thompson there. They don't have anyone on IR or practice squad when it comes to quarterback. So those are the three. And Tua, obviously, he and Jalen used to play together. We all know what happened there at Alabama. Look, I'm excited for this matchup going. Look, they're not really playing against each other, but this is going to be fun to see two friends battling it out here. I'm excited about it. Cannot wait for this matchup. And Tua has been slinging it here. And I'll be real with you. You know, I try not to get too much into, you know, the stats and stuff. I try to leave that for the top matchup show where you get individual matchups with the individual breakdowns of things. But I'll try to touch up on some of the top guys at each of these positions. Right now, Tua has over 1,800 passing yards already. He has 312.7 yards per game. Holy hell. And he's at 71.1 completion percentage. And that's pretty good. 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He is out there slinging it. So got to watch out for Tua. Then at running back, you've got Raheem Mostert leading the way right now. They had to put Devin. Look, I've said Devin A-Chain since the draft. You guys know how much I love this kid. But Achan, whatever the hell he wants to be called now, Achan. That's his name. But he's on IR right now. Jeff Wilson had his 21-day window open last week. So he could definitely be back, especially because Chris Brooks, their third string running back there, got hurt this past week. Looks like he's going to be out, not on IR, but out for at least a week or two. So they're only going to have 2 running backs there unless they want to elevate Darrington Evans or Jake Funk. But Jeff Wilson can be activated. I'll keep you up to date if that does happen. Now, they also have a fullback, so we don't leave those guys out around here. Alec Ingold throwing it down there. And, dude, he can block, he can catch, he can run. Alec Ingold is actually a pretty damn good fullback to have, one of those versatile pieces, kind of like a Juszczyk, not Juszczyk, but pretty talented. Now, the wide receivers, we all know who they've got here. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and then you got Braxton Berrios, Cedric Wilson. They added Chase Claypool and Robbie Chosen there. So, holy hell, Tyreek Hill's already got 800 yards, man. He's 19.4 yards per catch, 6 touchdowns already. Son of a bitch. Jalen Waddle, he played in 1 less game than Tyreek, but he's only got 296 yards and 2 touchdowns. So Tyreek is smoking people. We all know how talented Waddle is. Berrios as well. So very talented there. On IR, they have River Craycraft. And then the NFI list, you have Eric Ezekanama. Sure. Practice squad, you got Braylon Sanders, Freddie Swain, and Riley Webb there. So they've got a lot of wide receivers, a lot of weapons at their disposal. We'll see how they try to use them against this Eagles secondary. Now, at tight end, they've got Durham Smythe here. And look, he's got 11 catches for 123 yards, 11.2 yards per catch, no touchdowns. But he is an actually decent tight end. I know you probably never heard of him. And you got the young man, Julian Hill. But we all know who Tyler Kroft is. 49ers using him to try to block Reddick, getting their quarterback destroyed. Don't want to do that there, Dolphins. So practice squad, Nick Bowers, Tanner Connor. So a decent tight end room, but should be able to hold him down there. Now, offensive line here. Look, you actually had Connor Williams, their center, missing this past game. So that's pretty important right there. You obviously want your center, but the guys on the left, Lamb, Wynn, Williams, Hunt, Jackson, those are your starters. And you got Cotton, Eichenberg, Jones, and Smith as your depth pieces there. See on IR is Teron Armstead. That's unfortunate for them there. And then practice squad, Ryan Hayes, Jason Hines, and Alama Ulave. Okay, now we're going to hit up the defense. And again, don't worry, I will show you a depth chart at the end. If this is a lot of information for you, just showing you each position, what they've got. And this will give you a little tidbit into what we're going to get into for the top matchups. Now, we're getting in the defense here. Christian Wilkins, he's an effing monster. And so is Siler, Raekwon Davis. They've got some nice interior D linemen. And we talk about this, it's a versatile, obviously versatile scheme defense here. So you're going to call these D tackles, D linemen, D ends at times, but they'll be moving around. But you have got some monsters there, dude. Christian Wilkins, he's got 3 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks as a big boy. He's in there just destroying lives. These interior guys are going to have their hands full with this group of guys here. You see Davis, Hand, Pilley as depth there. Cowart and Lawrence there on the practice squad. Now on to the edge rushers here and some talented dudes here. You got Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, and look, Van Ginkel plays. Agba's there, and they've got the young man in Good. But right now, Van Ginkel is tied with Seiler for the most sacks on the team with 4. So look, their depth piece is stepping it up there, but you've got Chubb with 2 sacks in there. Phillips has a half a sack, but these guys are really talented. Got to watch out for them. Going to be exciting talking about those top matchups, but they've got some edge rushers there. Now at linebacker, look, Jerome Baker got hurt this past game, so he, I don't know, we'll look again for that injury report today after 4 o'clock. We'll see what the deal is, if he was limited, did not practice, but yeah, I'll keep you up to date every day with that. But Jerome Baker could miss this game. That would be huge for them. They've got David Long. We all remember Duke Riley. And then they have Channing Tyndall there. On IR is Zeke Vandenberg. And I accidentally put Quentin Bell up there. Quentin Bell is not on IR. I actually had this video is coming out like 50 minutes late because I had to change these graphics because they released Chase Vinovich and they added Quentin Bell. Quentin Bell was with the Eagles for a minute there, but he is on the practice squad with Alexander Johnson. But you could use Quentin Bell also as an edge rusher at times. He's a versatile piece. We'll see if they do that. Now, at cornerback, we talked about it. Jalen Ramsey's 21-day window activated. Don't think they say he's not playing this week, so you're probably not going to see him. But, Xavier Howard got hurt last week too. So they could be without Xavier Howard. They could be without Jalen Ramsey. And I'd like to sit here and tell you I'm super excited. This team's going to be without both their starting corners. We better capitalize. But I don't know if that really is going to matter because, we just kind of talked about that with the Jets. Anyways, you see they've got Kahu, Eli Apple, Justin Bethel, Perry Nickerson, Kelvin Joseph, and Cam Smith. I like that draft pick and Cam Smith. But Ethan Bonner, Mark Milton on the practice squad there. But Nick Needham on the PUP list. It would be great if they're missing secondary pieces too. I don't want to see anybody hurt, but we are obviously missing a lot. So it's going to be tough to try to stand toe-to-toe with this team. They've got lots of talent. And at safety, man, they added Deshaun Elliott, as we had talked about earlier. And, he and Javon Holland, a pretty damn good safety duo. Brandon Jones, we talked about in that trade video. Maybe we could pry him off their hands after this game. You got Elijah Campbell there. And then Verone McKinley III there on the practice squad. And don't worry, I don't leave out the special teams unit. So you've got yourself Jason Sanders, pretty good kicker. Punter, Jake Bailey. Long snapper, Blake Ferguson. And then the return specialist there, Braxton Berrios, who, look, man, it's a name we've mentioned. We don't need a punt returner, but could definitely use a kick returner at times. I like Boston Scott, but not really as a kick returner. I'm just going to keep it real with you. But that was the team, their coaches, position by position there. But now let me show you all of that information. I'll show you the practice squad. I'll show you the reserves, then the depth chart so you can get a feel for what this team looks like. So you can elevate 2 players for this game. I don't know which of these players is exempt, how they have 17, but again, I had to change some of these graphics because I added Quentin Bell and had to take off Chase Vinovich. So didn't even spell his name right. I threw this in as fast as I could. And I was like, what the? Still couldn't figure out which guy is exempt there, but they've got 17 on their practice squad. You saw them all listed, but just want to show you again, 10 on offense, 7 on defense there. Now, any of the names that were on IR, you will not see on this depth chart. So a Chain, Crossan, Craycraft, Ramsey, Jeff Wilson, none of these guys are going to show up. But if Jeff Wilson is activated, I will happily add him there. But you will not see Nick Needham, who was out last week. I think he is also trying to come back from the PUP list, but he was out last week as well. So a bunch of injuries there to the cornerback position. We'll see how it goes down. But let's take a look at what they do have. And again, after today's injury report, I will show you. All right, Herschel, what are you doing, dude? Sorry, every show he just has to do something like this. All right, Herschel, enough. Sorry, guys. Anyways, Raheem Mostert, Ahmed, Brooks, the back's there. But obviously with Brooks, I can't believe this dog's doing this. You've got somebody who's banged up. So again, we mentioned Jeff Wilson coming in. You see the rest of the guys. And by the way, sorry, Herschel's throwing me off. Anybody in orange is new to the roster this season. So everybody else was there last year. These are the pieces they added to try to help out here. But you can see the receivers they added in there. They've got a couple tight ends. So trying to improve the offense a little, but added a few more pieces on defense. We had mentioned Ramsey out. With him gone, they added Eli Apple into the mix. That's quite the downgrade. But he's starting there with Howard. We'll see if Howard can even play this game. But you see all of the depth pieces there for each position. And I have the 12 starters here as well to show you the 5-man fronts, to show you the nickel cornerback as well. That way you understand there will be 3-man fronts, 4-man fronts, 5-man fronts, things like that. So the versatile scheme defense with Vic Fangio, all about it. Now, on the special teams, you saw those guys that, we had a punter, kicker, long snapper, but here is the punt returner and kick returner there with Berrios and some guys that could help out if need be. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got for you. Herschel is being a little trollbo bagging, so going to have to go take him out. But I hope you're all having yourselves a great day. I'll be back later with that injury report for both the Eagles and the Dolphins, keeping you up to date with every single thing you need to know for this game and anything else going on. If you missed that video about trading for safeties, I gave you the top 20 candidates with all of their contract details. Go check that bad boy out. But I appreciate you taking the time, hitting that like button, commenting, subscribing, all those things you're doing. Cannot thank you enough. But I hope you're all having a great day. Until next time, I'm Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!